$80,000. That is what Ford is asking for a loaded F-150 right now. And the lot is full of them, going stale in the sun. Nobody is reaching for them. Step into any showroom this week. The salesmen look ready to beg. The trucks have sat in those spots for 90 days, then 120 days, a few past 200 days, and behind closed doors, the manufacturers are coming apart. Here is what they would rather you never knew. That truck you plan to stretch across 84 months will not bring back half its price in 3 years. The engine inside may give up before 60,000 miles. And the men who actually need a truck, the contractors, the farmers, the working hands, have already walked off the new lot. This game is one they can no longer afford to play. After 20 plus years in this trade, I have torn down engines from every brand. I have watched this industry pull every dirty trick ever invented. But 2026 is different. This is the year the whole thing broke. There are 3 questions, and every one of them is going to gnaw at you until you have the answer. How did pickup prices double inside 5 years? How did dealers end up buried under a full year of unsold trucks? And why is every major manufacturer quietly hauling back engines they once swore were the toughest ever built? Stay with me. Whether you are shopping for a truck or one is already in your driveway, no video this year will cost you more than this one. Start with the price, because that is where the illusion begins. Back in 2018, a loaded F-150 Lariat ran about $48,000. Today, the exact same trim reads $68,000. Same truck, same plant, same hands building it, yet $20,000 heavier. For what? For nothing. A bigger screen, a heated steering wheel, a stack of software you will never touch. That is the whole upgrade. The frame did not move an inch. The aluminum bed is the same one. The engine block actually got cheaper, traded down from cast iron to aluminum. Then they billed you $20,000 more for the favor. Stretch that across every truck on every lot. A Ram 1500 Limited reads $88,000. A Silverado High Country reads $79,000. A GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate reads $92,000. These are pickup trucks. Nothing about them was ever meant to cost this much. Cox Automotive puts the typical new truck deal in America at $58,000. The average payment has climbed past $1,080 a month. For a truck, not a house, a truck. The average loan now runs 72 months. A few banks are floating 84-month terms, 6 and 7 years of payments on something crushed for scrap by month 48. You are not buying a truck. You are financing a depreciating asset, sinking slower than a house and faster than a phone at 7% interest. And here is where I have to stop and ask the obvious question. Who exactly is this truck for? I have spent my whole life in this trade, and I will tell you something. The man who actually works his truck, who loads lumber every Monday and tows a trailer on weekends, that man bought used. He found a 2018 Tundra with 200,000 miles. He paid $22,000 cash. He is done with the new truck game. He read the warning signs years ago. Those $80,000 trucks were built for dentists, for the weekend crowd, for the fellow who fills the bed twice a year hauling mulch home. The industry shaped them around that buyer. And now even he does not want them. Why? Because the math finally caught up. Drive a new F-150 off the lot today, and 30% of its value evaporates inside 12 months. That is $24,000 gone, while you are still on payment 12 of 72. By year 3, your $80,000 truck might fetch $42,000 on a good day, but you still owe $65,000. They call that being underwater. The dealers dress it up as negative equity. I call it a cage, because the second you want out, you have to cut a check for $23,000 just to escape your own driveway. Now lift the hood, because the real betrayal is hiding in the metal. I am about to admit something I almost never say on camera. The engines going into trucks today are the worst I have seen across my entire career. That is not exaggeration. I am not playing cynic for clicks. I am reporting what climbs onto my lift week after week. Take the Ford 3.5-liter EcoBoost. The cam phasers in those motors fail catastrophically. The truck wakes up cold with a rattle like a coffee can full of loose bolts. Ford knows. They mailed out service bulletins. They blamed the oil. Then they blamed the owner. The real cause was bad design poured into worse manufacturing. Cross 80,000 miles and you are staring at a repair bill that starts at $4,000. Then the GM 6.2 liter. The L87, the heart of your Silverado, your Sierra, your Escalade. General Motors pulled back close to 600,000 of them. The lifters quit. The crankshaft chews itself apart. The connecting rod bearings crumble before the warranty runs out. Their official remedy? They tell you to pour in heavier oil. That is the fix. Thicker oil in a $60,000 truck. And Insa is now probing whether that fix is failing on its own. Then the Stellantis Hurricane Straight 6, a brand new motor. It shoved aside the legendary Hemi V8. Early word of oil leaks and powertrain complaints is stacking up on the owner forums, and a real long-haul reliability record does not yet exist. Nobody has logged enough miles. You are the beta tester. You paid $80,000 to be one. Then the Toyota Tundra, the 535A. Toyota, the name that planted its flag on trucks you could not kill. Their new twin-turbo V6 is letting go at shockingly low mileage. Block contamination baked in during the casting process. Toyota called back more than 100,000 of them. Owners who already swallowed a replacement engine are reporting the same symptoms, the same patterns, the same failures. That is not a recall that fixed anything. Toyota has yet to say a public word about this second wave. Every major manufacturer, all of them, is selling you trucks wrapped around engines they know will fail, charging more than ever, then swearing the failure is your doing. Let me knot this together for a second. If you drifted off for 30 seconds, here is where we stand. Trucks now cost $80,000. The engines surrender by 60,000 miles. Depreciation swallows half the value in 3 years, and the dealers cannot drag them off the lot. So what happens next? This is where the story turns dangerous. Lots across the country are holding more than 115 days of unsold trucks. A healthy supply is 60 days. A few lots have blown past 200. The dealer pays interest on every truck for as long as it sits. They call it floor plan financing. Every day a truck does not sell, the dealer bleeds real cash. So the knives come out. $12,000 off the sticker, then $15,000 off the sticker. Last week, I watched a Sierra HD slashed $22,000 by a dealer who 2 years ago would not pick up your call. And the manufacturers are unraveling a step behind them. Ford cut F-150 output at more than one plant. GM parked shifts at Flint. Ram is throwing employee pricing at anyone with a pulse. They built these trucks counting on buyers who are not there anymore. Here is something that keeps circling my head. The industry placed a bet. They wagered Americans would shovel over any sum for a pickup. They wagered loyalty would steamroll the math. They wagered ego would outrun the calculator. And for about 4 years, the bet paid off. From 2020 through 2023, Americans took every price hike on the chin without a peep. But the math always collects in the end. Wages refused to double. Interest rates climbed. Gas never got cheaper. And the calculator in your skull finally caught up with the one taped to the window. Now the dealers are pinned under the wreckage of their own greed. Truck repossessions are climbing hard, year over year. Manheim auction figures show the lanes packing with late model pickups at levels we have not seen in over a decade. That means thousands of working people are surrendering trucks they could never keep. The dealers sold them anyway. The banks rubber stamped them anyway. And now those same trucks roll across the auction block for half of what is owed. Which carries me to the part nobody wants to say out loud. If a new truck landed in your name over the past 2 years, your math is probably broken. I will not soften it. What you paid for is worth far less than what you owe. The engine is likely on borrowed time, and the factory warranty taps out at 60,000 miles or 5 years, right when the expensive failures begin. Your roads out are narrow. You can keep paying. You can dump it and choke down the negative equity. You can pray the engine holds. None of those is a good road. Every one of them was engineered by an industry that knew exactly what it was building. The 2026 pickup market is not a market anymore. It is a boneyard. The dealers know. The manufacturers know. Even the auto journalists, the ones leaning on free press vehicles, they know too. They simply will not breathe a word because their next loaner depends on staying quiet. If one of these trucks is yours or you are about to sign on one, drop the engine in the comments. I read every thread. The patterns buried there are how I decide which crisis to dig into next. And if you have made it this far, you already grasp what it is worth to hold this before you sign, not after. Hit subscribe. The next one breaks down which used trucks are genuinely safe to buy right now. That one alone could keep $20,000 in your pocket, maybe more. The era of the $80,000 truck is closing, not because anyone in Detroit chose to stop, but because the customers finally quit walking in. If a new truck is in your sights right now, walk off the lot. Walk away. The discount that was not there last year will be waiting next quarter. The truck wearing an $80,000 tag today will read $65,000 by spring. And the engine under that hood still will not be worth what they are asking. The working men sorted this out years ago. They are rolling around in trucks from the early 2010s. They paid cash. They sleep just fine. The rest of the market is about to learn it the only way they did, the hard way.